Welcome, everybody, to episode 152 of Perpetual Backlog. I'm your host, Aqua, and joining me are my perpetual co-hosts, Dalit.
Hey, everyone.
And Alik.
Hello, hello.
We got a very special episode for you. As you can see, we're joined by two guests. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and tell us you hate us or something in your comments. Any type of traction is good traction, and we love that. But we have a very special episode, and to help us with this very special episode, we have invited two of our guests on to talk about a very big announcement that happened this past week. And these two guests are Lavrin.
Hello.
And Sly.
Oh, you mean Mecha Break? Yeah, that is fucking.
Yeah.
Big
Oh
news,
God.
man. I
Oh
swear to God.
my God.
You know, they had me in the
that.
first half. I genuinely thought it was Mass Builder.
Yeah, actually, Mass Builder. I was like, is Mass Builder like actually coming out? Because I don't know if that game's like actually out or if it's just like permanently in early access.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into our special half of this episode, because you guys can obviously tell we have a nice special background for this, we're going to be talking about the big announcement for all of us that happened at the Game Awards. But we're going to talk about what we played this week. I'm going to go first because mine's quick. You guys are going to be very disappointed in me. Sly already knows. I've done literally nothing but play Fortnite this week.
Yeah, them Game Award ads got to you, man.
No, I was playing before.
Lego Save the World. You want to do everything. Look at all this, man.
I was
Why
playing
wasn't it just
before
normal?
Sly.
It's not just normal bloody Fortnite. What are you playing, Aqua? Tell us.
No, I've been playing a lot of Zero Build. I've been playing a lot of Lego. I literally played Lego Fortnite. Lego Fortnite for like fucking 10 hours today. All right.
No, you see, Sly is right. You were not immune to propaganda. Jeff got to him. Jeff got to him before the show. That's all that happened.
Yeah, he did. He contacted me. He goes, Aqua, I need you to play Fortnite. I need you specifically to play Fortnite. And I'm like, I mean, Jeff, come on. I can't play Fortnite. And he goes, dude, just look at this. Play Fortnite. And I'm like, fucking fine. Yeah, he got me. But
He does, yeah. I have it in writing. I have him saying, unfortunately, Lego Fortnite has my life at the moment.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Earlier today.
Played 10 hours today. I you know what? I'm justified because playing Lego Fortnite fucking speeds you through that battle pass. You get so many fucking levels. It's ridiculous. All right. So, I'm justified in that. But it's not just with Lego Fortnite. I'm playing the Fortnite Festival too, which is literally just Rock Band. So that's my justification. I'm actually a Guitar Hero Rock Band god, all right? And I'm just reliving my glory days back in high school, okay?
So is Fortnite basically making other like games that already exist now? Is that what they're doing?
Pretty much.
From what I can tell, Fortnite isn't a game anymore. Fortnite is a platform wherein they will make games. Like it's a console within a console. That console being a PC.
Right.
They want to be Roblox.
Oh God.
They want to be Roblox.
I don't like that.
Pretty much.
But you're absolutely correct.
See what Fortnite is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, you know, it's the battle royale, all right? Even though like before Fortnite was like what, save the world or protect the world or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Yeah, basically what Lego is.
Yeah. And so, but what they're doing is that they're using the Unreal Engine 5 creator to make other games within the Fortnite client. So that's what the Lego Fortnite is. It's just like in a collaboration with Legos. Everything's Lego in it. That's they have Harmonix. They own Harmonix, and so they had Harmonix develop the Fortnite Festival, which is just Rock Band within like the Fortnite client. There's Rocket Racing. They have the team from Rocket League actually make Rocket Racing within the Fortnite client, within the Unreal Engine 5 and everything. So it's like your one-stop shop for normie gaming, all right? and I'm ashamed to say that it has taken me. All right. I blame some of my friends though. My friends got me into it. So that's me. I literally nothing but Fortnite. So
yeah, I'll follow up because mine is also really easy. I've done nothing but Monster Hunter because I kept to the theme. Damn it! I personally, as I one guide Capcom into getting that prestigious final game award spot. That's what happened. I goddamn just willed it into existence.
What are you talking about, Dollar? You're not playing Monster Hunter. You're playing Monster Hunter Ice. All right, you're not even on the Monster Hunter servers.
No, that's technically true. The man has a point.
You're not even on. So you're not even playing Capcom game. You're playing. I
am in fact Capcom playing the Iceborne Community Edition. This is not untrue.
So you didn't one guy. You said fuck Capcom. Actually.
Well, no. Capcom as a base, just build on top of it. What I said was fuck the Clutch Claw, and I mean that. Anyway, also, man, my Gunlance has a guard point on its quick reload. How can you not love that?
I don't know. I don't play Gunlance, so.
Neither did I. That's why I'm so hyped.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I did. That's literally the only game I played. I've been busy.
Yeah. We work, right? Yeah. I have been playing Final Fantasy 14. I'm finally back in it properly, boyos.
Hey, let's go.
After 2 years, what have I done? Yeah, no. I got to post main story Endwalker. So I've met Zero. I love Zero. Mm-hmm. Zero's cool. Zero's so cool. I'm also playing a lot of Lethal Company. It's so ridiculous.
You and the entire
internet.
I love
that game. It's so good though. Like I know it's one of the games that everyone is playing now, all the streamers, right? But no, there's a reason for that. Legitimately, I love it. There's so much silliness that you can partake in, and because it's such a simply made game, like it will not tax your computer by any means. I don't know, the creepy stuff they put in, especially for this Christmas patch, it's really good. God. There's so many. Oh God. Actually, no. My most favorite thing they've done is that there's a arachnophobia mode. So if you are scared of spiders, have no fear.
I've seen this.
You will just see the word spider on screen instead, coming right at you.
You are being hounded, predated upon by the word spider.
The concept of spider.
Truly peak terror.
It's so good. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Very, very good. Oh yeah, there is also because usually it's just 4 people in your multiplayer game. There is a mod that will allow up to 40 people. That's craziness in itself.
That's some workplace efficiency.
Oh boy, yeah, it's great. And when you don't meet that quota, I hope you like space.
Yeah. What about our esteemed guest, Sly? What have you been up to?
Honestly, business as usual. The only difference, I guess, now is started Daily Valhalla since tis the season, and so doing that every day, just playing a day of the game and then stopping and then paying for the next day and whatnot. Other than that, 14 trails, the usual.
The list of all similar sounding JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lav?
I in the past week or so, I played Super Mario RPG for the first time, and The Legend of Dragoon for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I love those games.
Those are two
Mhm.
classics.
Those are so good, man.
You plan on so did you get all the way through Super Mario RPG?
I beat everything in that game.
Was this the OG
post-game.
one?
Yeah, it's OG one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played remake.
Ah, the remake.
Oh,
I mean, that's
Aha.
pretty close actually. The way they've
Yeah,
done it.
it's the
Yeah.
exact same basic
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, did everything, including all the post game stuff. Was not that much, so it was quick.
Hmm.
Then I got the platinum trophy for Legend of Dragoon.
nice.
That was very fun.
On the classic kick.
Hmm
That's good. Sly plays Valhalla every December. Like I watch the Haruhi movie every December, so I understand that. My Christmas movie actually. Well, that's good. All right. So as you guys, as the audience can tell,
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about Monster Hunter.
It is
For how long?
time.
I have no idea. All right, but it is time. All right, this is an episode that was actually like 3 months in the making or whatever, but Baldur's Gate got in the way, and we were gonna talk
Yeah,
about
it did.
Yep.
Rise and Sunbreak, but
Do
actually,
you
fuck
want to
that.
talk about Baldur's Gate though, and how it won Game
Hey,
of the Year and
no.
everything? Because-
Boulder Sweep. Boulder
Boulder
Sweep.
I'm really
Sweep.
happy. I've been being intensely addicted to this game. I'm very
Yeah,
happy.
it's been bad for League. This is true.
Oh my god.
I'm in Act 3. I haven't completed a run yet, but I have like 4 or 5 different fucking characters. It's ridiculous.
No,
Mm.
well, actually, in a way, thank you, Baldur's Gate 3 again, because it did delay us enough for us to see something special.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if anybody watched the Game Awards, there is any inclination of what happened this past week. We got an announcement of a new Monster Hunter, and we're gonna watch the little teaser trailer that they showed off to us, and then we're gonna talk about everything that we can about this, because at this moment in time, screw Rise and Sunbreak, because we got game coming up, boys.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
So yeah, let's get into this. Now I
The
remember.
sound is good?
Yeah, the sound should be good.
Okay.
At this point in time, me and Dollar were like, "This can't be Monster Hunter."
Yeah, I know, me as well. I was like, what is this? What is this? And I was like, wait. And you'd be like, wait. You're like, no,
we're like-
couldn't be,
we're like-
couldn't be.
That's a great sword, and we're like,
Yeah. I remember you saying, it's like, wait, that's a big sword. Yeah, you guys were convinced at this point, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Gallop. And but then this happened, and then you were unsure again. It's like, no, maybe
like-
not.
Nah, because that's Gosfarog's fucking moveset right there, the whole swipe.
Yeah. I was excited about this. I was like, this is like the dinosaur. And then you saw Capcom.
Capcom, yeah.
And it
These
was
guys
just
were
it was just
screaming. Yeah.
Monster Hunter The Vials.
We did it, fam. We willed this into existence. All this talk the past like month and a half of Capcom's got to show off a new Monster Hunter. 2025.
The 2025 does actually hurt a bit though. I won't lie.
Really? I mean,
Yeah, because so it hurts because I have exactly zero attachment to Dragon's Dogma. So I
like
was
kind
able
of
to
attached
to it.
you got time. Like you got other things to fill
Yeah.
in 2024 with. Trust me.
this is certainly not false. If 2024 is even remotely similar to 2023, I will be complaining about it by the end of the year.
Just remember, Dolly. We have Tekken 8 next month. All right. We have
You have
Tekken
the
8
demo,
next
My,
month.
mate.
man, I
And-
have Tekken 8 in 2 days. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
true. We have
Yeah,
Tekken 8 in 2
Demo
days,
7
but we
out
also
to you console fellas in 2 days.
but we also have Tekken 8 next month, all right? And then a
True.
week
Yeah.
later, we're on the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink fucking train for like
Yeah,
at
boy.
least
Oh god,
for
is
like
it-
at
Yeah.
least
that
a
close?
month. Yeah,
Oh my
for
God,
like
I
at
forgot
least a
that's
month.
coming
Crazy.
out.
Yeah, it's coming out,
Alright.
yeah.
And then
Actually,
and
I
then
was
Oh
end
yeah,
of
I pre-ordered
February.
that. Yay!
Yeah, I pre-ordered it too.
Man,
I
and
pre-ordered the
then
collector's edition.
and then
Yeah,
there's
I
Fantasy
was
7.
actually-
Oh, there's too much.
Oh, I can't play it. Final Fantasy 7.
I'm sorry, love.
PC,
I
please.
can't wait.
No, actually, speaking of PC, I was very happy to see the Steam logo with everybody else sitting at the bottom here.
I was happy
Yeah.
to not see the Switch or the Switch 2 or whatever
Yeah.
or whatever
Mhm.
fucking piece of shit Nintendo
can't-
console,
Mhm.
right?
It
telling
wasn't even a
everybody, man.
thought in my head, given what we saw.
I
I-
kept
it just-
telling so many fucking people about that, dude. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be cross-play, it's gonna be cross-platform, whatever, cross-save, and it's gonna have every console." And I'm like, "Yeah, except for the Switch, right? You know that, right?"
Yep.
But the Switch 2 is gonna have more and better hardware. And it's like, yeah, and it's
Still
still not
not
gonna be
enough.
developed for the Switch.
Correct.
Yeah. No. You'll be able to play the cloud version on the Switch.
That's what I was saying. That's what I said in response. I was like, yeah, you get your cloud version if they decide that. But even then, I feel like
Look,
they would just do
frankly,
something else.
I am still looking at this a little sideways because, like so many other people, I think it's time we retire the S. I don't know about that, guys.
True, the Xbox
That's been
Series
the
S is,
bane. Yeah, because of the parity, it's been the bane of so many developers dealing with the Xbox.
That too.
That said, as we've seen before, the RE engine and Capcom in general works on some actual black magic. So
Mhm.
maybe it just won't be a problem.
So much so that they're updating their engine again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting RE2.
Ridiculous.
RE
Rex
Rex. What is it?
the
Yeah,
Rex
Rex
engine.
engine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Rex.
So there's a bit to talk about. For one, it's another Monster Hunter W, and not just in a W as in it's a win, but as in it's a W.
Oh,
Did you think about
yeah.
that, good, Casper? Did you think about it? Very good.
So now when we abbreviate this, we're gonna have to put WI.
Well, you can't do that.
Oh, because that's Iceborne.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just MH Wilds. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yep,
Just type
correct.
Wilds.
You gotta say the whole
Not
thing is like a
related.
Tribe Called Quest.
Not MHWI, not MHW2, none of that garbage. Fucking use your fingers and type Wilds. It's not hard.
No. No,
Genuinely,
actually,
I wonder if they don't just call it Monster Hunter 6.
no. Hey, here
Do that
and
too.
I watched Laverin's thing. All right, 6 is in the title.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
little squiggly at the bottom.
Mhm.
It literally says Monster Hunter Wild 6. So people just
yeah.
say Monster Hunter 6. So
Yeah.
We're back to
Um,
numbers, boys. We got out for a little bit, but we're right back in there.
So everybody and their mother has obviously stated this, but you know, our boy's carrying a bow gun along with the greatsword
Mhm. Yep.
on the mount here.
Mhm.
So are we thinking 2-weapon hunting? Is that going to be one of our
That's-
gimmicks?
You know,
That's the consensus.
yeah, that seems to be where everyone's at. I don't think so, though. I think that's dressing for your chocobo. Sorry, I'm going to call it a chocobo.
Chocobo.
Your chocomute, if you prefer. I think
Chocomute,
I think
oh
that's dressing for the bird, and I think that's mostly because I think the bird is a mobile chest.
Yeah,
Oh,
camp.
it would be good if you
Yeah.
could store your thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's like a
the
phone.
the bow gun is kind of a red herring. Not even a red herring. Like it's just dressing specifically for your mount. I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to change that. But I think we've had access to swapping weapons while on the hunt for 2 games now. I don't imagine they'll bring us back down to 2. Though, frankly, having access to a quick swap of 2 weapons would be tremendously powerful.
That's what that's supposed to be.
Hmm.
Oh, is it?
It's supposed to be a secondary weapon that you can just hop off or hop on and swap weapons too.
Goodness, that sounds so
That's
strong.
that's the intent. That's like everyone's like assumption. It's the intention
yeah.
of it all. And that you can change it to be any secondary weapon you want. It's not a ranged option. It's just pick 2 weapons
Two
that you can
weapons.
swap on the fly, and then if you want to, you can edit them pretty much at any time as long as you're not in combat. I assume. Like I was when I was talking to Sly and the other Samuel about this. Uh, I was telling them that I think that the game is going to be a lot more free, where you can build your own camps and put them down wherever you want to.
Mhm.
I
All
think,
Wild Hearts.
yeah, I think it's just gonna take what Wild Hearts did and basically just do the exact same thing, um, with just the added feature of you can also swap between your secondary weapon whenever you feel like it.
Yeah,
It's such a powerful thing to have access to that. My God, Element is going to be something that I might actually mess around with instead of just going raw, 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 unless I can't.
Hmm.
I'm looking at you, Electron. That's why we can't have nice things.
Sunbreak was the game that actually made Element really worth doing.
Mhm.
It was very, 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 very good in that game. Basically,
True,
just fixed Element.
I do hot swap my dual blades a lot in Sunbreak.
Yep.
Just due to having different elements.
Big, right.
Are we also thinking Guiding Lands as the main hub or as the main map?
Basically, so take like all the maps of world
Mm-hmm.
and make them one huge map with no loading time whatsoever.
I was going to ask that. Do you think it'll just be a big persistent world rather than individual
Yeah.
areas this
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Yep, new engine. Well, look at what they did to look at what they did to Dragon's Dogma and look at the scale they said that's going to be. So
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so mapping this thing is going to be a bitch.
That is assuming that it is going to be one really big map. Yes.
Correct.
Yep. And think about
From-
like all the little secrets you had to go get for
Mhm.
for random shit. Yeah, it's gonna be a bitch.
I can't wait for the ecology side of this, but in terms of
Yeah.
the map, it's hard for me to say because like my gut instinct is to say, man, we're getting really excited. They've literally never done that before. I don't know, but also, man,
RE engine
it
works
does.
magic.
Not even that. It does feel like World was setting up for this. Like
Yeah.
they graduated from these expansive maps to how can we integrate them together in the Guiding Lands. This would be the natural progression from that.
Mhm.
And until this summer, when we get more information, I don't think it's unreasonable to make the assumption that they're finally giving like one massive map that has various biomes. Maybe 2 maps. Maybe there are separate ones, but there'll be less individual
That's
loading
what I
screens for
said
them.
too. Yeah, that well, no, I think it's either I said it or I agreed with Sammy about it, or some one of us three said it, where it's either one very big map or it's 2 maps that just have a couple of different locales
Yeah,
in
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Uh, I I'm okay with either of those options. I can see that happening. I can also see it just actually being 5 different maps again, or 6 maps or whatever, and
And
they just be
that's
very big maps.
that is what I was getting at. Like the big change for me will be when we see them present the main zone, quote unquote. If we
Mhm.
see that we're in an established village like we always are, then I am going to lean more towards no, we're probably going to have individual biomes that are massive.
Yeah.
But if we are just mobile on the go, I can imagine we'll have less maps at a much larger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that did struck I was playing it now is that I don't know if it's just for cinematic reasons, but they seem to really like show like the weather changing and the environment having some environmental hazards that you have to avoid as well, or just deal with. Like you see now, there's a like, great big lightning storm that rolled in.
Hmm. I think that I think that like I want to say that those things are just going to happen at random. There's just going to be, you know, just weather effects. Finally,
Yeah.
it's not going to be like completely scripted. Like it's not going to be world. It's not going to be oh, it's that time again. Time to shoot the windrakes or whatever with a sonic
Right.
bomb and make them
Yeah.
scream and then oh, no, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think it's just gonna
Hmm.
be there's a chance that it'll happen, and when it does, uh, you just gotta tolerate it, deal with it somehow
Yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
hunting or whatever. It'll feel like this is gonna be kind of difficult for me to word this. It's gonna be much more natural when it comes to how the player would handle it when it
Yes.
happens, because the weather effects are not going to, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some that's going to impact the world around you, of course, like something's going to fall over or whatever, blah blah. But it just looking at the trailer alone, it definitely seems like it's much more natural than just this is just obviously scripted. It's the same old song and dance. It doesn't seem like that. It
Mm.
actually, and if it is, then whatever it is. But it certainly doesn't look like that, like compared to what we're used to. It actually
Yeah.
looks like
Mhm.
there's a lot more attention to detail and effort put into that specific thing, into like the weather effects
I
and
agree.
how the enemies also move, how they try to. Maybe, I mean, I'm assuming. Well, it's kind of hard to tell in the trailer because we have no idea, but the herd of small monsters are running away, and it could either be from the hunter, it could be from the larger monsters, the ghost-looking ones, or it could be the weather, or it could be
Hmm.
both. It could be the monsters
Yeah.
and the weather. It could be both. Like we don't know, but if that is all like connected together so that the monsters actually behave in a very particular way and it makes it feel like it's like a living breathing world, then it's already way better than what we've gotten for the other games, because it's just more. I've said this before, um I just off out of a video, like I put on Twitter or whatever. But with Monster Hunter as a whole, if you look at the older trailers of Monster Hunter, just every one of them, 1, 2, 3, all the way, there's always in some trailer or another, there's always a part where the trailer showcases the small monsters, the herd of monsters, just they're grazing or they're doing whatever, they're blah blah blah, they're living their life, and then they get attacked by something because that's just Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And it's always in a cutscene. You never see that in the game. Never.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, the
never see no
ecology
more than
used to
like 3 or
be
4 monsters at
cut-ins.
a time. Yeah, you don't see any of that sort of stuff. It's always just
Hmm.
it's just already generated in a cutscene and that's it. And in Wilds, they managed to finally actually create uh like it's like looking at those cutscenes from the old games is like the vision that they've wanted for a long time, for it to be a part of the actual game that you can play and
Yeah.
just witness. And that's what World Wilds does now. Like it's you are literally living those cutscenes now, and that's really cool. So there's a crap ton of attention to detail and a lot of not of course not to like undermine the credit or the efforts of the past games, but there's a lot of effort and attention to detail and everything put into Wilds, specifically in that one feature there's a lot to like really appreciate with that because not a lot of people really think about it. Like they don't like they don't like they'll be like, oh, that's not a monster on the screen. That's crazy. But that's as far as they go. They don't think about like,
Yeah.
man, I'm actually living these cutscenes. Like this, like I'm actually a part of the ecosystem. That's like this monster's beating the shit out of these monsters. In the trailer alone, I laughed at it every single time when I was talking with Sly and Sammy about it. I was like, it's so funny how one of those ghost monsters just fucking smacks the shit out of the small ones and it launches. Like it's and you're just riding
Mhm.
them out like what the hell is going on? And the lightning striking all over the place. You're screaming and like what this is crazy. I gotta get out of here. Like like, there's just
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on, and it's just so cool. Like that's again, that's just something that people. I mean, it could be because everyone's hyped up when they saw the trailer, but like if you take the time to sit down and just look at that and think about it for a minute, you're like, damn, that is actually really sick. That's so awesome. So that's where that appreciation can come from. It's
Mhm.
great.
I feel like
No,
there
I
might be
agree.
I feel like there might be like a specific quest that might force you to fight certain monsters in certain weather conditions.
Oh,
Don't say
Yeah,
that because
yeah.
you're
I
right,
believe it.
but
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that to be an unplanned RNG fest. Oh,
Like
Yeah.
Zenogre in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about that.
Hey, the
Mhm.
cool thing I noticed with this one, you see these ones with the spiky back ridges here?
yeah.
Yeah.
One of them got
Mhm.
struck by lightning and it glowed blue during this,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this very short moment soon. I was
Yeah,
like,
right there.
what the
Yeah.
fuck? Do you see that?
Yeah,
It's
we've
so
got some
it-
really interesting evolution going on. Hmm.
It almost looks like it almost looks like it kind of gets frozen after it does it too, because that kind of looks like it's like frozen.
I don't know about Frozen, but it certainly looks like there's something going on beneath the exterior, as if it's not quite. It looks
Also,
like it's
the
made of crystal or
particles.
something. Oh, it's
Also, the
beautiful.
particles just like flying off the
Mhm.
handle here. It looks like there's a bunch of lightning rods centered around everywhere as well. So you might have
Yeah,
to
yeah, I
like
see that.
The
try to
bloody Gandalf
try to
Thunder
position
Plains.
yourself.
This is.
Yeah, but
I'm just
it might
waiting
be
to
like
hear
one
the
of those
Final Fantasy
things.
X music.
Yeah, might be one of those things where you have to position yourself like near
The
near
lightning
the
rods.
lightning rods
Get
or
ready to
whatever.
dodge 200 lightning bolts, boys and girls.
Yep.
Uh, while you're hunting, so you don't get absolutely destroyed by a lightning bolt while you're fighting something.
Yeah, I mean, like to piggyback off what Lav was saying earlier, like this game might be called Wilds, but I genuinely think World or even Frontier would have been more apt names for this. Like there is such a greater focus on the world than ever before. Full stop.
I think
Ecology and exploration seem like a major. They could be. I mean, obviously, hunting the
yeah.
monster is going to be the main idea, but like the ecology and the exploration seems like it's going to be such a big part of this one with the larger maps, the sheer amount of creatures on screen, and like all these potentially dynamic shifts in the landscape. Oh my goodness.
I think Wilds is honestly the perfect name for this game, just from the first trailer we got, only because it it already feels like you're in the wilds. Like like I mean, just seeing the monsters attack each other, and everyone's got to deal with the weather conditions and everything, and a mob density, like everything is just going up, I think Wilds is a really crazy cool title for the sixth generation of this game of the series. Honestly, it's really cool. Makes you wonder what like the other. Well, of course, I don't have to really explain this too much, but like it makes you wonder what the rest of the world's gonna be like in the game. You know,
Yeah.
what the other
Yeah.
locales gonna be like and everything. Like what the fuck is gonna happen? Gonna have a volcano erupting while I'm in the volcanic zone?
That's what I was just
Oh,
thinking.
Like
God, yeah.
Like we'll have
is there
we'll
gonna
have
be like
an
could there be like a
active
flood
volcano.
in like
An
certain in like the
avalanche,
jungle or
Yeah,
something?
the
Like there's a
flooded
lot.
forest.
Yeah, there's like
mudslide.
a lot. There's so many like options. There's so many things that
Yeah.
can happen. And of course, this is Monster Hunter. Like they I mean, those are natural things like in our world. Like a volcano erupting is natural, a snowstorm's natural. What if there's some other ridiculous nonsense that's only in like their game? You know, like
Yeah.
Not to mention, who knows
some
what
weird
the
unique
elder
storm.
dragon of this game is going to be doing to the
Yeah,
to the world. So
Yeah, there's a lot of potential, and that's the beauty of it. It's exciting.
oh god, I wonder if the Elder Dragons will have a even more profound effect on the settings than usual.
Probably.
Because usually it's just been they change the skybox. No other creatures show up. Now other creatures are probably going to show up. If Kushala's in here, we might get actual goddamn windstorms.
Don't talk to me about Kushala, right? All right.
Look, so long Capcom, so long as you don't let Kush camp in his own tornado. That's it, and it becomes a much better fight.
Yeah. Very nice. Don't make it like World.
Don't do
Kushala's
that.
garbage.
I really like Kushala Daora for a lot of reasons, but I will happily admit it is the worst Elder Dragon to fight in the world.
Yeah, it ain't great.
Yeah, we were just recently doing that, like not but a couple weeks ago in our like world rerun, and we got to Kushala and we were like, we saved Kushala last specifically out of the Elder Dragons we were supposed to hunt because we were like, this one's gonna be the most annoying one, all right? And Kushala was the most annoying one.
It wasn't bad, but it was far and away the most annoying. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even with like the super upgraded like Guardian gear that you get right off the bat, it was still like Kushala's just
It's because it's not about how difficult the fight is. It's about World misusing the mechanics of that one dragon.
Yeah, because like even in Rise wasn't that bad.
Yeah, Rise,
came to
Kushala Daora isn't a great fight ever for most people, but I genuinely don't think it's that bad usually. World was something else.
You know, it was a
Yeah.
mess.
And that goes to one thing I was talking about with Lav in terms of, you know, Rise and World was difficulty in terms of hunts. Rise Sunbreak didn't have hunts that really like sat your ass down and make you think. Like
I agree.
So a lot of it hurt. Yeah, it did, but you got through it.
Yep.
World had Behemoth. World had Alatria. World had World had raids, basically.
Yeah.
Like raids that really made you sit down and think. Rise didn't have that. And so I'm kind of looking forward to going back to that with kind of like an evolving ecosystem.
Yeah.
Will there be arenas? More than likely, probably. And I'm hoping the arenas will be active as well. Not just, places where big monsters go and you have a wide area, sure. But I want the arenas to be active as like a part of the fight as well. And like again, going back to the monsters, I like they should honestly like you were saying, they should affect the
yes,
not only endemic life, but the large monsters as well. It should affect everything. Like I want other monsters to be scared. Like you see something running. It's like what the Cedric the Entertainer in Kings of Comedy said. Like everybody's running. Like you start running too.
You start running too.
Yeah, like you see big monsters running. Wonder why. Things like that. Like.
What is the
good?
What is he fucking what is it? What is he Rathlos like fly in there, see the Elder Dragon and be like, nah, I'm out of here. Fuck you guys, I'm going.
Yeah.
Poor Rathalos the punching bag. He probably would. He'd finally understand. He'd be given
and one thing that this will fix, and thank God this will fix it. Hopefully it does. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how the AI will work. But the god awful 2-3 monster AI that we had in Rise, it was so predictable because you knew what was about to happen.
Yeah.
One of the monsters was dipping every time. You couldn't tell who it was, but one of those monsters was fucking dipping. Like well, like the other one would dip afterwards. But yeah, either way, after like a certain amount of time, they wouldn't fuck with each other like that long. One of them was for sure dipping, and I hated that. It was like just like that. You knew it was about to happen. Like you go into fight, yeah, that one's dipping. Yeah,
You,
we'll focus on this one.
you knew it was going to happen so much that you didn't even need dung pods anymore in Rise. You just
No.
like you just
No, you
you're
really
just like
didn't.
all right, mount the monster, bring them into each other. All right, that one's dipping later. In World, when we were just playing World, I was like, oh man, I got to remember to bring dung pods on me because Basil Geese and Devil Joe are annoying as fuck in this game.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not even them. Like, I'm going to use Elder's Recess as like the perfect example. I have had Dodo Gama with his little adorable self decide
Yeah.
that he does actually want to go heads up with Bracky and Basil Geese, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're just doing this. This is just a Royal Rumble, is it? Okay, okay, and me without my dung pods. I guess we're just gonna have to survive this or die trying.
There was something that I wanted to mention about the differences between fights with Sunbreak and World, and
Sure.
there were not very many, mind you, but there were also a couple of fights in Sunbreak that had mechanics and whatnot that made the fights interesting. Within like your first few attempts, your first hunts.
Yeah.
Uh, like that's like everything in the series. You're like, oh, it's interesting, and then after a while, it becomes second nature. You just kind of do it, and you
True.
don't think about it.
Malzeno was
Um,
sick.
Sunbreak though did have the same thing that World did. Whether or not it had the same amount of those kinds of fights or a little bit less doesn't really matter. It did, but the problem that I find with Sunbreak specifically was just you could do the mechanics that they intended for most of the fights. In some cases, I think you had to. But in other cases, you could just counter everything. You can just counter,
Okay.
roll, run away,
Yeah.
and that it's a. I've said this to a couple of people in my Discord that it's a double-edged sword. It's both a very good thing and a very bad thing because on one end it gives you the ability to actually do whatever you want to do. It doesn't make you have to do a mechanic of some sort because if people aren't really that good at the mechanic, no matter how hard they try, they want to be able to have something to still survive. And again, yeah, skill issue, whatever, sure, but also the point is to be able to try and use other means if you can't do the means that you just can't do. You want to be able to have more options. And that's what makes it a very good and bad thing in Sunbreak because for a lot of us that like to optimize, you just want to counter everything, and it's like, okay, well, there goes the novelty of me wanting to do the mechanics because I can just counter it on whatever. And
Sure.
in world it was definitely because you didn't have that kind of stuff. Your alternative was mantles. And that was your counter for
That is something I would also like to see not come back in
yeah,
Wilds, if
I
I'm
don't yeah,
honest.
I don't
Mm.
I'm pretty sure we're just going to get the slinger and the scout fly cage at
Yeah.
least because that's already shown off in the trailer.
Actually, with
Um
one exception, I don't mind the Gilly mantle turning up for exploration purposes. But like, I don't know that I necessarily want the mantles that impact gameplay.
oh,
Gameplay.
I was never a fan of temporal mantle. I
That was a
was
mistake.
never a fan of it. I was
That
never a
was a
fan of that,
mistake.
and I was never a fan of Rocksteady Mantle. I don't care for either of those. The moment that I picked up Rocksteady Mantle, I was like, "What does this do? Oh, you just don't get stunned?
And then you
Well,
die.
you can get stunned, but you just don't have any you don't attack react. You just take the hits, no problem. You have super armor.
And then you
Okay,
die.
that's interesting. Yeah, and then you
I mean, you
experience
could
the
die,
multi-hit
or
you experience a multi-hit attack or something that would kill you, and it's like, okay, I get it. I get the trade-off. That's fair. And then you also realize that you can get stunned if you don't have stun res because the game is still building up your stun damage when you're getting hit every single time. Then you get stunned while you have Rocksteady Mantle, and it's like, okay, that's also another trade-off. That again, that's fine. That makes sense. I just gem it in, no big deal. And then the major problem is not those things I mentioned. It's the fact that everybody and their fucking mother decided this is the meta now. Rocksteady Mantle at the start of a hunt, shoot at the floor so the monster looks around like a fucking idiot, and their AI isn't smart enough to like cancel that most of the time. And if they do cancel it, who cares? You have Rocksteady Mantle. So you just smack them in the face, wall bonk them, and then rinse and repeat. Like you just
Yeah.
that is your opener. And it's like I don't want that. I don't need that shit. I don't like cool that you can do it because brand new thing, awesome. No big, like, it's not nothing too crazy, but you lose out on so much of what are my options to approach this fight? You whenever you look at a monster, do you want to do this thing like that you usually do because you're confident that you can do it, regardless of the damage that the damage regardless of like the advantage that you have. Like okay, I do a shit ton of damage, like with wall bonking. You do like 1,000 damage whenever you bonk a monster, not including your weapon. Like you just hit
It
them
is a
against the
gross
wall.
amount, to be honest.
And the thing is that it's literally just like clockwork. It's not. It doesn't add to your options on what you can do. It just funnels everything into this is what you do at the very beginning. Then you do everything else afterward. And it's like I don't like that. Like I've always loved walking up to a monster in Monster Hunter games in the past and being like, okay, I'm gonna start my fight with maybe doing this. Maybe if I'm playing GU for example, and I'm using like Valor I start by running up to the monsters, smacking them, and then sheathing the roar to get like a little bit of meter at the beginning to start. Like there's things I could do like that. There's and it doesn't immediately knock the fucking monster down. It doesn't immediately give me a shit ton of damage against the monster. Again, not including my weapon, just the bonk itself. On top of the fact that I can, you know, beat the hell out of it with the weapon. And then there's also the fact that, in this case specifically, the world or Iceborne, whatever, wall bonking, like this is another double-edged sword. It's cool that you could do this, but also bad because, again, people like me that like to optimize are like, well, this really is just the thing. Huh? This is just how you start every single time, isn't it? And it's like you can get your wall bonk in, you can prep like a trap or something on the side that isn't gonna trigger them until they get back up or something, and then like you just line everything up, and that's cool because that's still the traditional stuff that you would figure out with every other Monster Hunter game. But at the same time, for the sake of how much damage you deal at the very beginning of a hunt, that's kind of ridiculous, and it gets kind of like, through a speedrunning perspective, that's fine. Like that's just whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like that's speedrunning. That's a whole different thing. But from someone who wants to play casually, when they see, and believe me, I've talked to so many fucking people back in World Iceborne days and everything on like people come to my chat and be like, what exactly is like the thing to do? Like what's the best thing to do? And I'm like, well, here you go. It's just this and this. Have at it. You get your mantles. Oh boy, here we go. I say with rolling my fucking eyes to the back of my fucking skull. Like it's just that's just how it is. And it's like that's just it's boring, man. Like you'll have your fun with it for a while as like a casual player, but there's gonna be a point in time where unless you have, you know, uh, I'm gonna say this rudely for lack of a better way of describing it. If you have a fucking brain, you would be like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of doing that. I'm gonna do something different, and then you do something different. You know, a lot of
The
people
man
don't do
speaks
that.
facts.
A lot of people don't do that, and this is a different can of worms that I'm not gonna open further, but people that do that are unfortunately in some cases a loud majority of people that complain about how the game gets much more boring more quickly for just one of the games in the series. You know, it's like
Mm.
whatever. But I digress about that. Point is, there's definitely something. There's definitely like a mechanic solving thing for Sunbreak, but that game is that game leans so far to the arcade side, the like, aspect of the
Yeah,
game.
100%.
Like it wants you to get in the hunt, do what you got to do, get the hell out of it. Like that's all it wants you to do. And cool, yeah, we needed that honestly because World was a very 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 immersive game. It's incredible. And it was nice to take a break from that for a few years, and now come back to it with potentially something like what Wilds is going to probably bring, where there's a lot more things to worry about. There's a lot more enemies to deal with. There's just more weather effects and potential outcomes that could affect monsters more than just the small monsters. It could just affect the world around you. It can make things more difficult. Sly was saying when we were talking about this last time that what about certain things that could like affect like if you light something, like if you light the grass on fire, if that could actually have an effect. And
Hmm.
the trailer already showed the lightning strikes were hitting the ground and there was fire being left behind on the grass, and it's like, okay, maybe that can actually do something. Maybe that can cause a a fire dot effect, like as if you're standing near like the edge of like the lava or something where it just damages you over time. Like it could
Oh,
probably do
like the
something
same
like
thing
that.
with torch pods from World.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah,
I can dig that.
Mhm.
you could probably use the torch pot or something to burn the dry grass or something like that, and use it as a tool of some sort in a fight. Like who knows? There's a lot of potential things that can happen. Or it could just be fucking nothing. Like who knows? But I don't know, man. There's definitely a lot of potential, and I am personally very very excited to see another very immersive game because World did something that no other game did, of course, and it was the sense of scale and world was
Mhm.
unbelievable.
It was
Yeah.
unreal for
The
sure.
monsters were fucking huge in that game, and it actually felt like I was fighting fucking dinosaurs, like dinosaur-sized monsters, like, they were really fucking big, and I was like, "Man, this is crazy," and, of course, I mean, anyone could be like, "Oh, well, you did that monster in the past games," and it's like, "Yeah," but also the camera angle and everything doesn't really, the camera angle in the old games doesn't really like do that justice. It doesn't give you a proper sense of scale. It doesn't really like emphasize, holy fuck, that is a monster. That's gonna be
Yeah,
a
like
problem to deal with.
Dalamadur was huge and
Yeah.
amazing, but it's not the same as like seeing the biggest monsters in World. There's
Yeah.
a different feel to it for sure.
On top of the level design in that game too. The maps in that game were insane.
Mhm.
Ridiculous. So cool. So no, we'll see, man. We'll see. But I am excited for any other potential fights in wilds that that they'll be like, okay, we'll put in some mechanics in here that either maybe the monsters will have to deal with these mechanics too, with like the natural weather. Maybe the monsters will actually control the weather because plenty of monsters in the world, in the world of Monster Hunter, do that. So they can just
Yeah.
conjure up a fucking storm for all they care, and it'll be like, oh great, we gotta deal
Yeah.
with this shit now. Like who knows? There's a lot of potential. So
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
see.
ready for like whatever type of raid style monsters that they could bring in this, because I mean we've obviously seen
Yes.
what they could do with World or whatever.
Yep.
Well, this looks like World, but times 100. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God.
So I want to think about, because in World, they did lobbies really well. As
Mhm.
in, you could run around with your friends in your lobby. And Rise tried to do that too, but not in the
16
same
player
way.
lobbies, please. 16 player lobbies, please.
Yeah. How
Go
do you
back.
how do you think? Well, what you hope, Shah is a better way to put it. What do you hope Wilds will do with multiplayer?
We kinda talked about that too, didn't we, Sly? A little bit.
You sure did. Mine is more wishful thinking. Um, since this is a bigger world.
Mhm.
Um, no pun intended. Um,
Yeah.
All right, jokes.
uh, knowing what we knew about world lobbies and everything, they were big. They were really big lobbies. Like they were little mini get-togethers, basically.
Hmm.
Um, I want that, but if we keep the four person party, keep that. Like I'm okay with that. Like anything bigger than that, and you run the risk of too many chefs.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
But since we have this larger, world scale, instead of if we have a lobby, And I know this is kind of hard to do. Like thinking about it, it's kind of hard to do. You know, servers, instances, yada yada yada. But a man can dream. If so, we have like 16-player lobbies. Great. What if say the lobby was filled, all 16 players are there? What if all 16 players, meaning 4 parties, could be in the same map, the same big ass fucking map at the same time?
That'd be ridiculous.
That would be dope as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But then they would
Would be
have to be able to hunt
insane.
together, because presumably they'd be able to just be out in the world and see.
So
Everyone would see that great Jaggy, because obviously the great Jaggy's coming back. My man, I'm rooting for you. And then it would just disappear. It would
here's
just
what I-
disappear.
Yeah, like yeah, because I just imagine like you have an Angie in one different part of the map. You got a Zenogar in the other map, and somebody like another group's hunting that. Like you have like so many large monsters on the map at the same time.
I would love that
And
though. Like
so
this
many
just gets
different groups
down
hacking.
to like you. I don't know if you've expressed this outwardly yet. I do want a Monster Hunter MMO. I would lose myself to a Monster Hunter MMO. I
So-
want a frontier for the West.
So real quick, one thing about this is assuming that when you mention about being able to like be in the same area with other hunters and like hunt things together with more than 4 people,
Mhm.
there is actually I don't think this is really gonna I don't think this is continued with other games in the series. But there is lore in Monster Hunter where there is a reason why you only have 4 hunters with you at all times.
True. The rules of the guild. Yeah.
There was basically an accident that happened where there was more than 4 people hunting and one of them died. So they're like, no, we can't have more than 4 people. It's just too many things to think about. There's too many people to like take care of, and there's a lot with more room for casualties and things like that. So 4 players is like the most we can really handle. You know, like any at any given moment. You know, in like the
Mhm.
hunt itself. And of course, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, but Frontier, man, shut up. That's a spin-off game. Like
That
spin-off
was not
game.
canon.
It's an MMO. Like whatever. Only monsters in that world exist because it's a world. But the whole co-op thing is that's just it's an MMO co-op thing. But and even then, you're still doing 4-player hunts anyway. Like
Correct.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
even Rabiente was instanced with 4 people, but you can still see your friends just chilling doing the same hunt in certain parts of the body because the monster was a fucking mountain, like literally a mountain. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking like maybe there are specific like okay, so like the raid style hunts, like in World we
yeah,
had,
the
like,
sieges
we had
were
Safi
cool.
Jiva and that had multiple teams fighting that monster.
Yeah,
Technically.
that I can see again. I actually want more of that. That is cool.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
I think that's really interesting because at the same time, with sieges, if sieges continue to be a thing, uh, whether they're improved upon heavily or slightly, or if they aren't improved at all, they're the exact same. What we have in Iceborne right now is kind of crazy because it's pretty much just doing the same thing that 4U expeditions did or guild quests. It's the same thing. Like you just have your rewards are actual pieces of equipment that are tied to that specific hunt. You know, that specific instance of that you go into. So it's really nice where it's like, okay, I want to try to get this one specific piece of equipment, and I have to do this one hunt in hopes that I can get it. And there's definitely like quite a big pool of weapons that can get in the way of the one you want. But it's still nice that they were trying to do something similar, but a little bit different with the guild quests that they did with the sieges in Iceborne. So I honestly hope that they kind of keep doing that because I think it's very cool. It's very fun. The only problem in Iceborne's case, which makes sense, was there was only like 3 monsters. So that's it.
Yeah.
And building upon that by adding more monsters, it would be great. It'd be cool. And this was something that I think so Slad had mentioned this. I can't remember the word for word thing, but it was like mentioning large monsters coming, like really large monsters coming back, like Lao Shan or things like that, in a world like Wilds, because I mean, assuming the game is really big, that means there's more room for things like that to exist.
Yeah.
And thinking about sieges, they could bring back those monsters that were basically just sieges, but they were just in the form of
Can you
a regular
imagine a
hunt.
Lao Shan long fight that's fun? I
Yeah,
love Lao. It'd be
that'd
nice
be
to
cool.
actually fight him instead of having
Whether
him just running away the whole time.
whether or not they improve it heavily, like if they were to bring back a monster like Lao and improve it heavily, or not,
Yes.
like as long as like for example, with sieges as a whole, you obviously get materials for the monster that you fight, and then you get the extra materials that are for the weapons that you want that are tied to only that siege. Lao Shan or other monsters that are like that uh, can still do the same thing. Where, let's say, for example, we bring back Safi or something. Safi has his own unique weapon tree,
True.
uh, and you can do your usual upgrade system, blah blah blah, that kind of crap. You can do the same thing with Lao Shan if you wanted to, but you could either do this. You can do it. You could go about it a couple of different ways, and I won't mention all of them because I can't think of all of them. But I can only think of like a couple.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
And it's like you can either approach that. Let's say if Lao was a siege, you can approach it in a way where the monster will have a pool similar to like Safi or Kolv, where it's got RNG weapons that are just really really cool weapons, and bring back the old models that they've have for Lao. Or you can just have Lao Shan be a siege fight, so that everybody can contribute to get more materials from
Right.
Lao to just craft the stuff regardless. So there's no RNG on what weapons can drop. Everything is just how many materials can we possibly get if we all work together to level up that siege as high as possible to the max, finish the hunt, and then be rewarded with just a slew, like being pelted with a fuckload of monster materials to craft the armor a lot faster than normal. It was same with the weapons, and or maybe the crafting bit is the easiest part, and maybe the upgrading portion is the harder part. So that's where all the mass material collecting can come from. And you can still do the hunt with 4 people if you want to, or maybe you can even still fucking solo it, whatever. But the point is that if you want to get it done faster, there could be an option by leveling it up by having people join together, just beat the hell out of it, while also hopefully being an actual fun fight. Something threat because Ashalan is never threatening. Brother fucking steps on you and you can die in one hit. Wow, it was because I walked into
Yeah.
his foot. Well, whoop de do, but he doesn't do anything. I was like, whatever. So yeah, but I think they could do something like that. Whether they bring back old monsters and change how the fight is entirely and make them actually menacing, or if they make brand new monsters like similar to what they did with Kolv and Safi and Iceborne, where those fights, I mean, they did the same thing. Well, at least Kolv did this to some
Similar
degree.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kolv did a little bit similar things to like what Lau did, where she just kind of trucked along. She was chilling, doing her own thing, smacking you around like leave me alone, whatever. And then there was a different fight where it was okay. The gloves are coming off. Get yeah, now you gotta fucking kill me if you want to like take me out. You have to actually take me out completely. You're not gonna get me to run away at this point. It's a battle of the fucking death. And they could do that with other fights, with brand new monsters that could be their own form of sieges. That could be their own unique RNG pool of weapons or something. That could not be that and just be crafting and just do the thing like I mentioned where you can upgrade the weapons much more, but you'll need a lot of materials. So I mean, it's possible. Personally, I would like to see more reason to hunt some monsters over and over again for further upgrading. Like I do
Yeah.
like augments in Monster Hunter.
Hmm.
Augments are
Mhm.
cool. Like those kinds of things are great. Um, but for me personally, it's always very, very, very easy to upgrade that gear. Like and this is the boomer in me talking, but if I were to compare the old Monster Hunter farming to nowadays, you barely did any fucking materials to craft anything in the newer Monster Hunter games. You need like 5 of one thing and like 1 of another. Ooh, whoa, boy, crazy. Instead of like, I don't know, fucking more than 5 of one thing and like 3 of something else that's rare. I like the feeling of like, okay, I want to get this weapon. It looks really cool. It looks really it is really strong. And this is just the crafted version. Like I still have to upgrade it to the max. Wonder what the upgrade's gonna be like. And then you put in the effort, you get something really fucking cool, and then you upgrade even further, and it just gets much stronger. And it's like, okay, that's great. I mean, I'm rewarded for sticking with the weapon, and the weapon can actually hold its own, and it looks cool, and the investment was actually worth it because it was fun to go do that with people. It was fun to hunt monsters, and it actually puts a little bit extra time into the game instead of it being like, oh well, I fought the monster like once, I got everything I needed, and I'm done. And it's like, what happened?
That's
Where
like me fighting these
what's
demons
the
for the first time.
what what's the fucking point of hunting the damn monster more than once? And if you just get lucky to get everything you need in one fucking hunt to craft, most of your shit, if not all of it in some cases, it's like, damn, my cat stole everything, and then I got lucky from the reward, the quest reward in the car. It's like, nah, dude. I would like to actually feel like I have to fucking farm this crap. I prefer that. At least for the upgrades, the initial craft, or otherwise, like vice versa, whatever. Like I would like to just actually put more time into getting a lot of materials hunting a monster because at least at that point, if I'm helping out friends or random people or whatever who've never done the fight or who also want to work toward it, then we both have a goal in mind. I still got things I gotta collect because I have to collect a bunch of materials. If they're a first timer, they get the ability to see the fight for the first time. They get to see the preview gear and be like, oh my god, I want to get that. That's cool. And then the cycle just kind of continues, with the next players and the next players, and it just feeds into itself. So I don't know. I'm okay with someone being like, no, we don't have to go back to that. You're just a boomer. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like whatever. Like I'm fine if people want it to be if people want it to be easy. But I'm just
Mm.
saying if I had to choose between easy or like more time consuming, I would prefer more time consuming because the whole point of
Time
Monster Hunter,
consuming. Yep.
the whole point of Monster Hunter is to actually have fun playing the game. It's
Yeah,
always been like that. You never
even
thought about,
as
I gotta get this done immediately. You never thought about that in the old games.
yeah, even as somebody that started with World, um, I never thought like, oh man, it's gonna take me like forever to get these things. I'm just like, all right, time to hunt this. Except for Velkhana, fuck Velkhana. But
It's really not that bad.
well, I mean, it wasn't that bad when we fought her last time because we had somebody with a heavy bow gun that absolutely obliterated her.
I mostly meant the first time, but you're not wrong. We did absolutely we got backpacked on that last one.
That guy destroyed her in less than like 9 minutes. I was like, okay, this is dumb. But no, like I'm always like, okay, time to get in this fight, time to farm. And I mean, obviously it doesn't take as long. But I don't mind if it takes like 15 runs of like one monster to get like everything I need, because I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like you're supposed to play Monster Hunter to grind.
yeah. The whole point is
Yeah.
to actually, and the whole point of the game is to, ever since the first game, the whole point of it was, well, of course, thank God this got better. But the whole point of the game was, we're not gonna tell you shit. We'll give you very, very little information. Go figure it out. Have fun. And it's like, okay. And then for many people, like myself included, as when I first started playing Monster Hunter for the first time, I was annoyed as fuck. I was angry as hell. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? How's this shit work? How does anything in this game work? And then I sat down, I put time and effort into it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then came the part of getting good. Like I practiced fighting monsters, got my ass beat plenty of fucking times, and eventually got used to everything and played it so much that it became a fucking science. It became as easy as breathing to me with every monster that I fought because I put in the effort. I had a fun time fighting the monsters. It was cool seeing their moveset. Even if I got my ass beaten, it was bullshit a bunch of times. It was still cool because it was like, all right, I mean, it's still a cool monster, like just design wise. It's just fun to appreciate those things. And getting comboed or some nonsense, whatever, doesn't ruin anything for me, despite me complaining about it. It's just like, okay, whatever. Fucking this move fucking sucks. Like, but whatever. Like the monster's still cool. I like to see the gear. I want to see the weapons. I might need some materials for an upgrade tree that's weird. Whatever. But the whole point is to improve uh, at the game. You fight something that you've never fought before, or that you fought a few times and you're not very good at fighting it, with the intention of not only getting the materials you want for something that you have seen that you want, or maybe you just don't know what could be what else is in the future because of weapon trees doing weird branching paths. And you see a monster that you're like, okay, I'm not that great at this fight. I don't like this fight, but I want to get better at it. I want to improve. I want to get this down to a science. I want to make sure that I bully the crap out of this monster because I put in the time and the effort. And the process of that is what makes that fun. And that still exists to this day. I'm not saying it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. It's just for a lot of people, myself included, um, when you play the game for a while, everything monster just becomes easy in general. Only thing that
Yep.
isn't really that easy to you is something that you haven't fought before, and even then, it could not, it couldn't, isn't it doesn't mean it's even hard. It's just like, okay, I just don't know what this does yet, and then when you see what happens, you're like, oh, okay, I get it, and then that's it. Like you just figure it out very quickly because you're accustomed to the formula of the gameplay. You're very used to it. So in cases of like monsters having cheap shots, combo moves, launches into dunks, and all this other crap, you're like, this is bullshit. And it's like, well, yes, it is bullshit. It is fucking stupid. But at the same time, like, as someone who's played the game for so long, what do you fucking want? Do you want the game do you want to bitch or complain about the fact that the game's too fucking easy? Or do you want or like what do you want? Like it's not that easy to like balance a game that you've played for so long, a series you played for so long, to be very fair and very punishing without it just being tied to I got hit once, my health went from 100 to 1. Oh boy, like it's not that easy. So having moves where monsters can actually counter you, or if they can combo you, but I'll finish this thought. Having moves that monsters can do the monsters can do that is fine because they need to have something to be able to beat the shit out of you, to make them threatening at any point in time, while also doing considerable damage up until it actually starts to feel balanced when your gear is fully upgraded for that difficulty level. But still having that sense of difficulty because oh god, I had to be very careful because I can still get my ass beat if I'm not paying attention, or if I'm like too cocky or something. And on the other side of things with like the balancing stuff and how monsters act, it's fine to have those things for monsters. The other problem too is for the player specifically to not have very many options to be able to handle the things that the monsters can do. We always do
Yeah.
this back and forth thing. It's the same old fucking tango that we do where the monster's always fucking way stronger, way better than we are because the monsters can do so many things and we for the old games. We didn't have a lot to work with. There wasn't a lot of mobility. It was very, very methodical and slow gameplay. You had to pick your attacks, when to do them. It was your turn to attack. Okay, now it's my turn. All right, maybe not. I lied. You're not done attacking. Okay, I'll wait. Okay, now it's my turn. I get my one hit in. I sheath. I run. Like that. That's all it ever was for the longest time. And then over time, it got to over time until Sunbreak. Now it got to the point where now the shoe's on the other fucking foot. Now the monsters are just like, Jesus Christ, will they ever stop attacking? Stop! And the fact that the monsters can actually bully the crap out of you or punish you very hard with crazy combos or follow-ups and doing insanely fucking high damage on the harder difficulties or like anomaly 300 or whatever the fuck, or uh, whatever that other, I can't think of the other term that they use for the harder difficulty event monsters. But those quests are designed to be a challenge. Like
Mhm.
they're designed to bullshit you because they didn't want to make the monsters have another brand new, entirely different move list because that's a lot of extra work, and it's just for an event quest. Like they'll do that with some other moves, but not an entirely different move set, and they'll do that with like some monsters. But I don't know,
But it's
Hmm.
the monsters are supposed to be threatening or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that it
Yeah.
like that's the one thing I like always felt like bad about like Rise and Sunbreak or whatever is that I felt like the players are too threatening.
Yeah, they are.
Yep.
They're way too powerful in that game. That's why when me and
Mhm.
Dalek go back to World, we're like this is where it should be because these monsters, even if we are in like super high upgraded gear or whatever, like literally the first like one of the first monsters in Iceborne like almost one shot me, and I'm like okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's and that's the thing that I was telling Sly, Sammy, and I talked about this too, where I want Wild specifically to have to take from Sunbreak, World, even a bit of Frontier, even
Hey,
maybe a bit of GU, and have its own and Wild and having taken and given its own new things for Wild specifically. I wanted to take from those games bits and pieces of things that make that game fun or good. Like
challenge.
yeah, having something like I'm this I didn't talk about this specifically word for word. This is a spitballing part here for me, but having something like not like anomaly monsters is like kind of whatever. Like I don't really care about that. It's a cool
No.
challenge. Like it's cool that you can do that, but there's no need to level up something additional like a hunter rank. There's no need for that. Something what's it called? Deviants. Deviants and GU are fucking awesome. I don't
Yeah,
care
they
what
are.
anybody fucking says. That shit is sick as fuck
Mhm.
That was a
because
great grind.
it's still a leveling system. It only goes up to like 15 levels. It's not fucking 3 goddamn 100,
Yeah.
which is stupid. Like 15 levels is fine. All you gotta do is just be the host of your hunt and
Yep.
survive. Just beat the monster, and then it levels up. That's it. And then everything and the reward system, the types of things you get is categorized by the difficulty level and the amount that you get. That's it. And then they have a final difficulty that you don't have to do. You only do it if you want to get the gold, if you want to get the crown, like the size crown for the monster, and get a crown next to your fucking character name because you want to show off that you put the effort and did all that. Like that's cool. That's fine. You don't have to do it, but it's there if you want to challenge. And there's a small little reward for you if you want to show it off, and that's great. And that's just GU. People
Yep.
Yeah.
people people in my Discord were talking about how they like wire bugs, but they also really don't like wire bugs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I mean, I get it because the the way that I said it to people in my Discord was wire bugs are great. They're very, very cool for Sunbreak. That's where that sentence ends. There is no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. It's just wire bugs are great for Sunbreak. That's it.
Yep.
There's and the reason why is because there's too much built upon wire bugs. There's your mobility, there's your actual move set that makes you do more damage. It's not a fucking option for many weapons, if not all weapons.
It's built in.
It's not an option. Yeah, you have to do these things. And sure you can do the classic style of like I'm a hit and run, I'm not gonna use wire bug too much or
But
if
it's
at
gonna be
all,
miserable.
whatever. I've done it. People fucking requested don't use wire bugs for my streams all the time whenever I would fucking hunt. I'm like, this is miserable. I hate this because
Yeah.
I want to use wire bug. But I still showed people it was possible to do it. And the hunt doesn't take that much longer. But the idea is like you're missing out on a lot of core features because you don't get to, utilize the thing that the devs made specifically for the whole point of the game. Like that's the core of the gameplay is wire bugs. And when I played it, someone was like, "Okay, I want you to not use switch skills, wire bugs, nothing. I want you to just play like Monster Hunter 1." I'm like, "Okay." And I did a whole hunt multiple times, like because people kept requesting it. I kept doing hunts over and over again of just me playing Switch Axe, and people were just like, "Okay, this must feel awful playing like this weapon without your counter, without your like your dive attack or whatever, your launch or all this other stuff." And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it feels like shit because I want to use all these moves, but also I'm used to this. Like I can run around and just unsheath attack, wild swing, morph, attack, sidestep, and do whatever little dodge rolls I want to do. Panic dive because I always got it there, and have a good time with it because there's the traditional formula is still in there. But then when I see like all the available options that Wirebug lets me have, it's just like okay, I can't tech off the ground. I can't use my counter. I can't use other moves to dodge attacks even. I can't use a certain number of other things. Like, and it's like this feels awful. And then the thing that also kind of adds to what makes that feel uncomfortable is the frequency that you can use those things. It's just a cooldown. It's you don't build toward it. It's just the way that the game is designed is this is what you should be doing. It's not like GU where it's like, all right, and then, I explained this in my Discord specifically where I had said comparing GU's hunter arts to Wirebug's switch skills is you can absolutely tell the difference in like game direction. You can
Mhm.
100% tell the difference. One game is designed on the traditional combat system, GU. It's designed on the traditional system with the ability of using styles to change things up to give you a different move set, removing some things entirely, adding brand new things entirely that you don't get on other styles, just a different play style. And that's just the style itself. Then there's the hunter arts where they add an additional layer of whether I want to do more damage with this move, whether I want to get out the way in an emergency or whatever, or support my teammates, all these other things. But you always have to work toward it. And the thing about hunter arts and GU is you don't. I, you, I mean, you have an item that lets you get your hunter arts faster, and you can also fight hyper monsters to increase the speed of the flow of the gameplay to be even faster. So you don't really feel like you're waiting too much longer than normal for your hunter arts to charge and to be able to use them. And that's just playing solo. If you have someone who's playing alchemy style, you're getting your meter very, very quickly by comparison to playing solo and not playing alchemy because you have someone who's supporting you, giving you more meter way faster than normal, and a bunch of other stuff. Like there's just so much more that's built to support the traditional gameplay of what that GU offers to make it feel like okay, that this game is a lot faster than traditional Monster Hunter. It's a lot faster, but it's also balanced because I'm not able to I won't want to say forced, but I'm not like given the freedom to just do these things whenever I want to. I'm told, okay, work towards this. Play the game well, and the better you play, the faster you can use these things. And then comes the optimization of being able to do that even better. And it's like, okay, now I have this down to a science. There it is. What I said at the very beginning of this conversation. What the devs always wanted you to do. Be able to do whatever you want and build upon practicing and then getting to the point where you can do it with your eyes fucking closed. And then you look at Sunbreak and Rise, where it's an entirely different experience. The combat is way faster. The wire bugs are there to give you much more mobility. You rely on them in so many cases, and that's it. There isn't really much to say about it because that's just the core of the gameplay. It's just an arcade-like, very fast-paced hunting game where they just said, "All right, wire bugs are your bread and butter. They are your life force. If you want to have like a good time, if you want to have fun or do some really cool things, and that's about it." And it's like, oh, oh well, all right, I guess. Cool.
Yeah.
And then they build upon that even further at the end game where it's like, okay, how about we give you 4 wire bugs instead of 3? And I'm just like, oh, well that's cool. How about we make
It
them
fe
recharge infinitely? And I'm just like, what? But this
it
is
felt like a
ridiculous.
rotation. It felt like a
Yeah,
forced rotation that you had to
yeah,
do.
exactly.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kinda how I felt like Clutch Call was as well. It kinda feels like a forced
Squall was
rotation,
the
but
same. Clutch Claw was the same thing. Yep.
yeah, but I also, like, uh, I I just hate how, like, uh, I guess how Clutch Claw how they had to balance the monsters around Clutch Claw to make so the monsters are more hardy
Yeah.
if you didn't wanna use the Clutch Claw.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. There was something that now that you mentioned Clutch Claw, there was something that I heard from a friend of mine. I call him well, Sly is also a Capcom creator, so I can say both of us. We have a Capcom creator colleague, as I like to call it, that I
yeah.
was talking to the other day, and he was telling me that he wouldn't mind if Clutch Claw came back in Wilds, but tenderizing isn't something that needs to be in the game anymore for a
Yeah.
damage increase.
No.
Yeah.
He said instead, what's a really cool idea was if you want to increase the chances of getting more material, then you can
Yes.
tenderize because you're
I think that-
softening parts to make them
I think
drop
that's what it
more.
should have been in the
drop-
first place.
And I think that's a really cool fucking idea. Like actually, it's really fucking sick.
Okay, I'll give
I
you
wanna
that. I thought this was
I
going
wanna
to be
stop.
some Monster Hunter try we want underwater back
No.
cope. No, this
No,
is fine
no.
by comparison. This is
Yeah, no,
fine.
it's. I think that's so cool. Like, okay, I wanna try to like I wanna increase the drop chances of something. Like it, and that doesn't mean that they're gonna make the drop chances even lower than normal. No, fuck that. They're just gonna keep the usual, and then you just tenderize if you want to have a higher chance of like the rare item dropping or something, and you put in the effort to maybe tenderize it, and that's it. You know, no big deal, and that's
Mhm.
fine. But the damage, but the whole DPS thing is like, okay, you know, fucking whatever. Like, get that shit out of here. I don't want to do some fucking rotation nonsense or I don't want to be. I don't want to feel like I have to play the game in a speed run mindset. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. If I want to speed run, I'll speed run. If I want to do a hunt where I want to sit back and just fucking sit in the corner with my thumb up my ass, shooting a fucking bowgun with normal ones, and I'll do that. I don't care. But well, solo. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna grief my team. But like if I just want to kick back and relax, then I'll do that. Like that's all I want to do. And
Grief
that's
your
another thing
team
too.
if your chat wants you to grief your team.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. Though is like support builds in Monster Hunter they exist. Plenty of them exist, but like you just don't really see them that often compared to the usual. Oh, I gotta get my damage in. I'm gonna fucking do my
Mhm.
bullshit, and it's like, man, that sucks. And I have made so many freaking support builds, and I've used them so many times, and I never get tired of it. It's always cool to have free meal, wide range, mushroom answer, all of these fucking things. Especially if I was a bowgun user. I love having like if I want to be full DPS, I'll go full DPS LBG build or whatever. If I want to go support light bowgun, I'll bring as much as I can because I'm pretty sure it's possible at this point with Sunbreak being done. But I want my bowgun to have like status ammo, recovery shots. I want my wide range my quick sheath to make it even faster, more optimal to support my teammates. Buff them a whole bunch. Want my demon and armor shots on my bowgun to help my team. Like I want to do all that. I think that's fun. I think it's really cool to just sit back and be like, all right, boys, you got knocked over. All right, just don't move. Lay on the floor, and I'll just heal you while you're on the ground. Okay, there you go. Avoiding a follow up attack. You got healed. You had to do You got to do nothing. You did literally nothing, and you got brought back from the grave. You know, like that, and that's just because you have someone that's there to help you. You know, it was who's to support you. That's so sick. So it's great. I want Wilds to have this. I want Wilds to have the thing that Frontier has, where you use your hunter's weight and their body to actually move your character much more than just panic sprinting, panic diving, dodge rolling. That's it. Like I want to be able to tech off the ground without having to use a resource, without having to use any other resource other than my stamina. That's what I want.
Mm.
I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to like like when I was playing Frontier, whenever I play Tonfa, I would be in the air. If I got hit by something, I could air tech if I wanted to because Tonfa let me do
Yep.
that. They let me air tech because they have aerial moves. IG
I
can do the
too would
same
like
thing.
something from Frontier. I would
IG
like the
could do the
Tonfa and
same
the
thing.
Magnet Spike.
No, fuck Magnet Spike.
Well, I at least want the Tonfas. I assumed
It's
the Magnet
like
Spike
I've already had this conversation. It would be too broken. It would be too broken for what Wilds was doing.
I agree.
Like,
Look, I
can agree with
understand.
Tonfa. I can agree with Tonfa, but Magnet Spike is going a little like again.
They would have
This
to
is
gut that
something
weapon.
I'm
they
gonna
would
be honest with
literally
you.
have to gut like a lot of the tech out of fucking Magnet Spike. The
I
ability
didn't
to
play
like
Frontier. I don't know what the Magnet Spike does. I just want the
you could
Tonfas. I'll
perpetually
take it.
trap a monster using Magnet Spike. Like
Okay, so
that's
help me
that's
out.
kind of like one of the key
The
features that it
weapon,
did.
What
the
does it actually
weapon,
do though? Because I've seen it, I've watched people hunt with it, and even seeing it,
So-
I don't know what
it
it's
had a lot
doing.
of aerial tech too.
And it, as
It-
someone,
not as much
who's
as
played it, as someone who's played Magnet Spike, it has a cutting form to cut and to sever tails. It has a blunt form
Mhm.
to KO monsters. It has the ability. It has a gun that has a magnet built into it that you shoot to tag a monster, and it allows you to dodge away and toward the monster. Like let's say you're in a small room, right? So it's a square room, you know, and it's like I don't know, let's say the monster's on one side of the room and you're right next to it, and you use your evasive move to get away. You're on the other side of the room. You're touching the wall, where the monster's follow up attacks or AOE moves will never touch you. That's how broken the evasive mobility is on that weapon, and it's
Oh,
basically free.
God.
It's basically
People
free.
escaping Raviense
Damn.
fucking comments with that shit.
Yeah, I was
Oh
about to
my
say this
God.
feels like some anti-frontier monster nonsense.
It
Fair enough.
It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, and that's just the mobility. It has the ability to gap close, to escape. It has sidestepping with follow up combos. By the way, that the all the evasive moves it can do, you can follow up with an attack. The opener that people do whenever they want to fight a monster is they would get their magnet gun, shoot at the monster's face, immediately gap close while in hammer mode, and then they'll immediately one shot KO it. That's it.
Oh, what?
That's literally it. And then they walk to the face, they smack it once, twice, third hit is a full charge, they slam it down, they do another full charge follow up for the fourth hit, and then they just kill it. That's it. Whoop de doo.
Yeah, I don't see what you're talking about. This
You've hunted
feels
the
fair and
monster.
balanced.
And that's not the strongest move in the weapons arsenal. The pin has the highest motion value of anything and anything. Like literally, it's the highest motion value attack of any Monster Hunter game of any weapon. Period. Like
Oh,
over 700 fucking motion value. That thing does so much damage, and it pins. It pins. Everybody can wail on the monster, and then when it's done, you smack the monster, and then just explodes, and it dies. And it's like, okay, well that's stupid. It's really dumb.
so
Like it's so
do
strong.
the devs just regret that they ever allowed this to exist?
I don't think so because it was the final. It was like the final update. It was like this is it.
Oh,
They have
okay,
fucking
okay.
go fucking nuts, whatever.
Yeah,
But
here,
like
BOP. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that is like the thing. Like Magnet Spike is cool. It's an interesting weapon. It's fun. Also, it has a parry or a block. I forgot about that.
Of course.
Well, I am
Um,
kind of
well,
I am
course,
kind
yeah.
of down now.
Yeah,
I do love me some guard points and parries.
it's it's a cool weapon. It's definitely an interesting weapon. It's in my opinion, it's like when you think about it, it's kind of like a little technical, like Charge Blade, but when as somebody who's played Charge Blade,
I feel
as
like
someone who's
people
experienced
overestimate how difficult Charge Blade is to use, though. It's really not that bad, guys.
Charge Blade is very very technical compared to many other
I
weapons.
mean, like greatsword, yeah, but
No, it is the most technical of like any weapon in the game.
I mean, like this is true. Like I don't know because it's been my main since 4, but also I feel like it's not that difficult. I feel like people talk it up way more than it needs to be.
Well, there is a difference between their approach because people are probably just not good at it, and then there is the fact where they are good at it, but they're just like, yeah, no, this is still the most difficult thing out there because
Hmm.
no other weapon has anything like this. Like I have guard pointing. I have charging files.
Love
I
a
have
guard point.
managing not fucking hitting the monster too much to bounce off the monster. I have AED. I have SAED. I have in some games the saw blade. I have in one game launching myself in the air and air SAEDing. Like there's and then there's positioning. There's guard point positioning into AED SAED. It is that weapon alone is an actual fucking science to master compared to any other weapon because every weapon is just like I hit, I block, I roll, rinse and repeat. It's like oh, I mean, yeah. Of course, there's also positioning, but again, guard pointing has its like you have like the slight knockback that moves your position a little bit. You have the angling when you morph into SAAD after the guard point for the follow up. You have shield charging to manage damage boosting. Like it's just a much more complex weapon that makes it more difficult by comparison to everything else. Insect Glaive is just I can go in the air, I can shoot my bug and get juice. Crickets, like woo, would be fucking good, awesome. Like that's it. Like the hardest part is getting all 3 buffs, and in some cases, well, GU and I think Sunbreak had this. You can just use something that gives you all 3 buffs in one go. Woohoo! Doesn't but it lasts much shorter. So, who cares? Like, you can still do it like pretty much whenever you want to, whenever you need to, and it lasts long enough for you to actually make it count. So whatever. But
So,
the difference,
are we thinking new weapon for this
No.
game though?
I don't
Nope.
I don't
I
think so.
expect 14 weapons like it's been for the last little bit.
I don't think so, but I would like a new weapon because it's been a long fucking time
What's it
I
been
want
since
Tompa.
4?
for you.
Yeah.
For you.
I mean, I'd like Tonfas. Tonfas are cool. Like just thinking about
No,
Tonfas
the
are cool.
Tonfas in general are cool. Monster Hunter Tonfas are amazing.
Yep.
The mobility. Oof.
They sure are. I keep telling everybody that IG needs another aerial brother and one that can actually do blunt damage and primarily blunt
True.
damage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
It's cool that IG can twirl in the air and sever tails and stuff like that, and stylish they can do that, or even though it's pretty fucking slow by comparison to Tonfa. But and yeah, it has a fucking blunt bug, but I don't like that. That's not the main. It's an insect glaive. It is a primary cutting weapon. I don't care that the
Yeah.
bug can be a fucking blunt object. Give me an aerial blunt weapon so that there is an option. We've had blunt weapons and cutting weapons, and then ranged weapons to balance ground combat. And then we have one weapon that is a cutting weapon that has been that has been the de facto aerial cutting and slash cutting weapon in the series since for you what was it 20 fucking 13 or 20 fucking something whatever. It's been too long. It's been fucking forever. Like we need something that's akin to like Tonfa, or even if it isn't Tonfa, just give me another aerial weapon so I don't have to just pick insect cleave all the time, and let me have the ability to they make it a blunt weapon. That way there's a brand new contender. It covers the air just like IG does, but it can also focus the face instead of just it can focus the face and actually just KO enemies without having to like do some weird workarounds or things like that to make a weapon that can't do it work and be able to do it. Like I just want to have that. That'd be great. Do I
Capcom
expect
Hero,
it?
please.
Do I
No.
expect it? No, I don't expect it. I really don't. And Sammy had mentioned this. It's a really good point that he mentioned when I was talking to him about it. And it was he thinks that if Monster Hunter was gonna have if this game was gonna have a brand new weapon or a returning weapon, they would have
It'll
shown
be
it
the
early.
feature. It would
They
be the
would
feature.
yeah, it would have been in that trailer. And he thinks that the feature of Wilds or features is the new
Two
Palamute, which is
weapons.
the fucking bird. It is the weather changes. It is the monster density. It
The
is
world.
the weapon, the extra weapon in the pouch, like and the fact that there's no camp. The camp is the little knapsack on the hunter's back, like but that is like a that part is the speculation bit because we don't know what it really is, but no other game has done that yet, and it's very particular. So that seeing that trailer makes a lot of people think, okay, maybe we are at the camp now. Maybe we can actually build our own fucking camp finally, and have that sense of immersion instead of it being like, okay, we'll put the camps up. When you load in, they're just there. Oh, okay. All right, I guess. Sure. Instead of like, all right, I got my stuff on me. I got my little tent. I'm gonna bring it with me. Where the hell am I gonna place this tent? Where's a good optimal location to place this tent to
Mhm.
optimize my hunting experience? Which I'm a fucking parrot. Is the exact same thing that they've done since the first game, making you just play the game, learn everything, and then optimize it, giving you the freedom to do that. If they allow you to do this with putting camps down wherever you want to, then there you go. Like that's just another new thing. It's another new thing that they got to like test around with. They got to update an old formula and give you the freedom to putz around with it, do whatever the hell you want to do, and see and so they can see like how it's received. If it's really good, if it's really bad, if it's mixed, whatever. So I think that the Capcom devs were really taking a Wild Hearts approach with this game. Personally, I think that they are. I think that they are letting you have multiple camps, and you get like one camp, like a base camp, and then you get like your usual camp where the one that you carry with you, and you can build a camp somewhere and tear it down and put it somewhere else. And then as you progress through the story, and do like the side quests or whatever, because you know how like in Sunbreak you unlock a side quest and they're like, give me like I don't know, five hide. Okay, you got me the 5 hide. Here's a brand new camp you can go to now. I think that they could do something like that that will give you an additional little knapsack that you can carry with you, and then put that new camp somewhere else, so you have an additional camp up to a max of like 4 or 5 in the entire map or something like that, or 3, whatever. I mean, at this point, 3 being a maximum makes sense because you now have the ability to put them wherever you want to, instead of it
Yeah.
being like, oh, I mean, I unlocked all the camps. Why is there a camp way up the fuck north, way up the hell down south, and not in the damn center? Why? You know what I mean? Like and plenty of Monster Hunter games have done crap like that. So it's that can always be a pain. So having the option to be able to be like, okay, thanks for the camp. I'll figure it out. I'll do what I gotta do, and then you just go out, have fun.
Well, with this game, there's only actually one important thing, and I know Sly was going to agree with this.
Oh
And
yeah.
as our friends in Finding Nemo would like to say, meat's back on the menu, boys.
God damn right, brother.
Yes.
Dongo is gone. Give me that 3-course special.
Or at least we hope meat's back on the menu.
Yeah.
True, very true. I think it would be.
Do you
Yeah.
think there'll be more emphasis on actually, the barbecue grill that you can pop out to make a,
Oh yeah,
meat?
considering where
It's
we
possible.
could be camping. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible. Sam, we were talking about how there could be like an emphasis on cooking, like a little mini game or something to get like your food buffs on the hunt or something,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
to be a little bit more interactive, which would be cool. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, when we were talking about this, me and Sammy we mentioned I don't know if y'all have ever played Dragon's Crown, but they had the mini game where like basically like everything you had like after a stage, like it was basically like a potluck. You just put it in. Yeah, it was like Korean barbecue. You did it yourself, and it was a cool. If you look it up, it's a neat little mini game. Like it's hectic as fuck, but it's really good. I can definitely see them doing something like that.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like I don't know how it'd work in terms of like skills and buffs that you pre-hunt skills and buffs that you would get, but yeah, I'd be all down for that.
I would be too.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
100%.
There was I'm trying to find it right now, but I don't think I'll be able to. But there was somebody who was talking on like Twitter about
Mhm.
about Wild specifically, and like the whole symbolism, I guess you'd say, or whatever, like behind the logo, like why the logo looks
Mhm.
the way that it does.
Yeah.
I am probably going to be very wrong when I say this because I can't find the post, but I think they were talking about how this game might be Africa inspired because of I think there's like a lore. It's like there was like some sort of like folklore or something like that in Africa between like the god of the land and the god of the sky or something like that,
Oh,
and
okay.
and and, and like the colors that they share that match the logo and the
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
Oh, That's so much better than what I've been hearing of. Small monsters look like pangolins, therefore Africa.
Oh.
Like this,
What?
this is well and truly more interesting a
There
concept.
it was like a thread too, and it was so cool, and I don't know where it is.
Yeah,
Did you
learning
like
some
it?
African mythology would be
I
very
did
cool.
not like it. I don't think. I think I was like half asleep, and I was like, cool, and then I passed out.
Well, I know
Ah.
what I'm gonna look up. Look up the 5 minutes that I'm awake after this call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
really cool.
yeah. I mean, I see like when I look at the four circles or whatever, it kind of reminds me of uh, like they kind of remind me like the Ouroboros, in a way, where
Yeah.
the snake eating the snake, or eating
hmm
the eating the
Eating
tail.
its own tail. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I mean, the long dragons, I guess, could be cool. Um, I just don't want like any Narwa or Ibushi type fucking dragons. Man, those were so annoying in Rise.
I wasn't a fan. No.
Same.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, man.
Or at least how they made the fights weren't very fun. Maybe if they were
I
like
just
an
didn't find them
actual,
exciting.
yeah.
Or not exciting. I didn't find them engaging.
Yeah, maybe if they like made it like a normal hunt and not like this whole like arena where you needed to like jump between like little platforms to use weapons or stuff like that.
I mean, I get it because they were big, but they're not. They didn't necessarily merit the having that big of a arena. I mean, give me, give me,
I
give me a
assume it.
Raviente, give me a Dalamador. They merit the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume they did
Make
it
me
that way
scared for my life.
because there were like primarily dragons that were always in the sky or whatever, so you couldn't like always fight them while you were like being on the ground.
I found it.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. Found the
Oh.
post. Where am I gonna put it?
You can put it in general.
Okay. There you go. That thread is all in there.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
it was. I forgot that it was inspired. That it says in there. This Twitter user, the Roaring Rex, made
I will like it.
a thread. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, they go right into detail. I love this. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is there like anything else that you? I mean, obviously, we probably have an endless list of like hopes and dreams and wants for this new Monster Hunter. But what's that? What is like the nearest top of the list that we probably never like touched up on? Minus investigations, because I swear to God, if investigations aren't in the game from day one, whatever, I'm gonna find somebody from Capcom and be like, why?
I love investigations. It is my favorite way to grind for materials.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that in depth. It's just here's 4 to 8 extra slots of stuff you get at varying rarities. It's RNG on top of your RNG. I love it. It was great.
Yep, I thought it was fun too. That's wonderful. I'm trying to think of like.
Because we don't expect it, but it'd be cool if we had Tonfas. We got obviously we got investigations or whatever. What like obviously there's gonna be a lot of stuff from World, because I mean I assume we're still like while we're not gonna be like, this obviously isn't gonna be like a stare or anything. We're not gonna have anything like that. Like nothing from like actual World's gonna be here, but we're still in the new world, we assume, right? So
Yeah.
this is assumingly, probably years after whatever happened in World, and we're way past the guiding lands, and we found this absolute like vast open, like, expanse of monsters. All right, so like
Mhm.
we'll obviously have some upgrades in World. You said you already saw like the scout fly cage and probably the and
Slinger.
the slinger. All right, that's all
Mhm.
cool. That's all coming back and everything. And we don't want Clutch Claw to come back at all. Maybe between the years of World and Wilds, the hunters that have made up shop in the New World decided, you know what, Clutch Claw is kind of not that cool. All right.
I'm personally okay with Clutch Claw coming back. It's just tenderizing that was the problem, and they could use the claw to
Yeah.
actually be more versatile.
Yeah.
Because with Slinger, at least, Slinger was base world, and
Yeah.
that added new moves or like faster ways to like shortcuts to get to your finishing moves and things like that, while also
Mhm.
being a small damage increase because you got to shoot the ammo, all while also being like a tool for the environment and all this other stuff. It was very, very cool. And
Oh, I love the
Clutch,
slinger,
Clutch
which is
Claw also
yeah.
has the same thing. Clutch Claw has the ability to use certain follow-ups that, well, at least in Iceborne's case, it dropped Slinger ammo, which was fine,
Mhm. Yeah.
despite it being, oh, light weapons drop it easily, but they only get to wound, they wound if you use it twice, and like that's stupid. Like despite all the
It was
problems that Clutch
dumb.
Claw had with its release, it's still a cool idea. And people always look at Clutch Claw and they just go, man, Clutch Claw as a whole was stupid, and it's like, no, it wasn't. Tenderizing was fucking stupid. You know how cool it is to see one of the slowest weapons in the series have the ability to keep up with anything in the game, the lance, because of the clutch claw, dude.
The clutch claw parry did feel amazing.
Yeah, the fact that you could weave in your attacks with clutch claw counter and your blocks with clutch claw counter and everything made you feel so powerful. And then there was also the hammer. The hammer had a follow-up move that
Yeah.
was only a clutch claw specific, and that move was so strong. It was so useful. It was great. It actually kept the momentum of of the core gameplay without sacrificing anything. And like you didn't have to really go out of your way to do anything like unique. Even Switch Axe had the zero sum stab, and then before the explosion, you can just claw onto the monster, and it's like, what? That's sick. You can just do that? That's awesome. And there was no cooldown. There was nothing. There was no wire bug nonsense. You didn't have to do it. It was just part of your rotation. It was can you do this input? Did you know this input exists? Well, now you
Yeah.
do. Now you can practice it. And it's like, okay, great. That's what I want to see more of in Wilds. I want to see more. If I'm getting more grounded gameplay, I better get more. I better get more options with my button inputs. I want to see more attacks just being part of the natural move set. I want to be able to actually press these combination of buttons and do unique things, even if whether if it's directional input based or not. Like I want to have all that because it's really cool to be able to have all those options available to you without having to switch between them all the time. You just get everything you need. And if you want to do a progression system where you unlock these moves because they just want to do it like that to test something out, okay, that's fine. And then I can just start using those moves once I learn them. Cool. Like that'd be great. So I don't know. I I think Clutch Claw should be a thing because Clutch Claw at the end of the day is a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking grappling hook. Like there's so much you could do with a grappling hook. How are you gonna make a grappling hook and then not? How are you gonna introduce a grappling hook and then only let you use it on fucking what is it? What were those bugs called?
The
I forgot what the bugs were called in Iceborne or
uh
in World.
crap. Me and Dollar we're just like playing this, not but like I mean Dollar keeps playing it, but
I was about to say, what do you mean were?
yeah, you're talking about the bugs that you could latch onto, like
You
going
yeah.
up to the top of Coral Highlands and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, like
the
the-
wedge
that-
beetles. Wedge beetles.
Yeah,
There it is. Yeah.
like that's the only thing you can interact with, and it's like, man, that sucks. Like, I want to be able to fucking claw like the wall or something, or anything like that. I want to be able to have more than just a wedge
Funny
beetle
enough,
and a monster.
I would actually use that to trigger the frogs.
Yeah, that works too.
You can kill Vespoids with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also great.
That's
Because
a good thing.
honestly, fuck those bastards. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't remember them being as obnoxious as they were.
And
I
they
mean,
were obnoxious.
back in the day, I mean, they've always been the very worst. But like, I don't remember World Vespoids being as bad as Iceborne Vespoids. Oh man, they cranked up the hate
Aggression.
Yeah.
that little body could hold.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's definitely potential for a lot of things, and technically the slinger would work with wedge beetles. It wasn't the claw that was required, but I mean you can just make a claw, just make the claw do everything, and just have the claw be a part of the slinger. So you have an option to use something additional. It's not so it's just one big tool like it was in Iceborne. That's
Yeah,
all.
the claw. I mean, the claw felt like it was a natural upgrade to the slinger anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it's just tenderizing. I guess it was definitely there. I mean, I thought it was
Mm.
cool to like get slinger ammo off of a monster by using your attack on them.
You know, what was crazy to me too about like the difference between the wire bug and the claw. Um, I actually don't even remember this very well in Iceborne, but I don't believe that light or heavy bowgun had the ability to like use any follow-ups with their claw while they were shooting. It was just I'm gonna stop shooting for a minute and then claw and then just blast them when I'm mounted on them, and that was it.
Yeah,
There was nothing. And then in Sunbreak, and I think in Base Rise as well, you had your wire bug, like you fucking zip around and slide everywhere. Why can't I
Mhm.
do that with the fucking claw? I just
and you
claw
have
into the
like
fucking monster's legs and just pull myself.
a
Monster's big
super
enough.
counter as well with
Yeah,
the wire bugs for heavy bowguns at least. I think
yeah, but it's just like for mobility's sake, the claw had an option to do that for any weapon really, but for bowgun specifically, there was an option there, and they just said,
Nah.
no. You're just gonna keep doing the same shit, and if you wanna it kinda felt like they didn't know what they wanted to do with doing something unique with the clutch claw and range weapons. So they just said, "Yeah, you guys can still tenderize." That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks. So, maybe it'll be better now. Who knows? Maybe it won't even be there.
Hey,
But
man, like game development is like what is it? It's all about learning lessons.
yeah,
Um,
they
so
do a very good job with this game and learning.
yeah,
They just kind of they try whatever they want to do, and they say, "All right, guys, let us know what you think," and then they just build off of it.
well, we're at the 2 hour mark. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning here, so I think we gotta wrap this up. But I know Little gave us a question today. All right, he didn't even know you guys were coming on, but it was I specifically pushed it to the end because it's a good question. It's nothing memey or anything. So, he's like, greetings, fellow gamers. This week I asked a simple question: what is your most anticipated game of 2024? And no, Leak
Oh.
cannot pick Baldur's Gate 3.
Rebirth.
So, Rebirth. Okay.
Metaphor.
Well, I mean, you're the Atlas simp, so you gotta.
The Megatan Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Dalit?
Yeah, I think it's probably Rebirth. I love Tekken. I love Hellblade, but I think I've got to give it up for Rebirth.
Okay. Leak?
wanted to say Rebirth 2, but I can't freaking play it, can I?
Yeah, that'll be a 2025 game for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we don't know how long it'll take for them to get it out on PC. Let's be real
they
here.
They did suggest 6 months.
It only
I just
has
don't believe them.
It only has a 3-month exclusivity to PlayStation, so
3 months. Oh, maybe
yeah,
I've been
it's
saying the
only
wrong
3-month
number this whole
exclusivity.
time.
Yeah, it's only 3-month exclusivity. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to like actually get it out on PC, but so it could still be it could still come out in 2024, but that's flipping a coin there for Leak.
It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
Got anything else there, Leak?
I
you just
mean,
gonna
Sega's dropping that, all the retro games, the
Oh, those
remade
remakes,
ones, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do look forward to that. Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, the Golden Axe.
Is that-
Shinobi!
Is
I
that
know, Streets
2024
of
though?
Rage, Crazy Taxi. I don't know.
No, we didn't have a date on
No.
that, and it's
Yeah.
very unlikely that it will be next year. Yeah, I know, Great Sorrow. I'd love to play a new Jet Set, but I guess to be fair, if you need that itch scratched, may I recommend Bomb Rush Cyberpunk?
Oh, that's
Very
true.
good game.
That's true. That's
Very
true.
good game.
Mm-hmm. Can't help with the rest though.
Yeah. Are you abstaining, Leak?
I mean, yeah, that's it, really.
I mean,
Really?
we
Oh,
could
I
just say
had you pegged.
we could say fuck Little and say Baldur's Gate 3 again.
I had.
But they're not
Leak
really
pegged
releasing anything
for
new, though. They've already
Suicide
done the.
Squad.
Oh, Suicide
What?
Squad, really?
No.
Yeah, no, I absolutely didn't.
Wait. When's Visions of Mana coming out?
We don't
That's
know.
absolutely next. Wait, did they not have a year date on it?
Let me check. It might have. It might have been 2020. Yeah, it said aiming for 2024. So you can.
There
Yeah,
you
that
go.
was much.
There you go.
Dude,
I thought
how wild a AAA Mana game. Like how wild is
It
that?
looks beautiful.
I know,
Oh
'cause
my goodness!
I'm a big Dragon Quest fan. So if it plays like the console or the recent ones, then I'm happy.
Oh, were we saying that when we were looking at it together? Or was that a conversation I had with someone else?
No,
We did notice a lot of the similarities. I imagine you'll enjoy it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just add puns.
Yeah.
I went last because it's obvious for me. All right. It is not Rebirth. Rebirth is an eventuality. All right. Rebirth
Fair.
is. I've played 7. Unless they're gonna go absolutely off the fucking walls with
which I mean they
with the
already
story.
kind of have.
Remake.
But unless but like they've kind of. I don't think they're gonna change like the big points of it. There might be a lot of like
there
Have
are
you seen
two,
remake?
there are 2 separate stories in 2 separate worlds happening.
I know, but I'm saying in the base world, I think the same shit's going to keep happening. All right,
It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that in one world, fucking Sephiroth goes, kills Aerith, and she wakes up in the other. It's entirely possible.
That's a possibility. All right, that's cool. But again, 7 Rebirth is an eventuality. All right, I've played 7.
But it's not Relink, is it?
It is not Relink. I don't have any attachment to Grand Blue. All right, I have no attachment to Grand Blue. All right, Relink looks like the game I've wanted for the past like fucking 12 years. All right,
I can't argue with that. I think this is the game that every single gacha game should make, because I'm not going to play your gacha for more than a couple of weeks. But if you make a real game, I'll buy it, and I'll buy its DLC. Just ask Fate.
Yeah, just ask Fate. Yeah, like it is.
Keep buying
insane.
their crappy games.
All right, it's insane. I've looking up everything on this game. All right, they still have not announced every single character in this game. There are 16 characters in this game. All right, announced, and they still haven't finished announcing them. I watched an endgame fight that Javian posted up because he got to play it a week ago. All right, that fight, those fights look insane. All right, if anybody's played, what is it? Was that one mobile game that Side Games did? I would literally knew about it, but they closed it down. All right.
Oh, Dragalia?
Dragalia. All right. It looks exactly like Dragalia, but with actual money behind it. All right.
Budget.
Yeah, and not budget at all. So that shit looks like good, and it's 4-player co-op. Like, I mean, this is literally the game I've been looking for. Right? It looks like a 4-player 14, but in an action game. So that is me. That is me. That is the game I've been looking for since 2016 when they first showed it off, and then Platinum said, "Fuck you guys, we're out of here." Another thing. Before I ask this question, how wild, and this is a pun. This is a pun. How wild is it that before 2018, all right, Monster Hunter was this niche as fuck video game series, all right, and now it's capstoning a Game Awards event.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's something. And it's
Yeah.
also, I think, isn't this also the second time they did it? Or was it the first time? I don't know if it was Game Awards or if it was E3 that they finished off with World, right? Was it E3?
It might have been E3 that they finished off World.
Man, that's crazy.
Or Capcom had an event at E3, and that's when they showed it off.
Capcom fully understood with World what they had done.
Yeah.
And it's mostly based around Tsujimoto, who has such a big influence in the company now. That like I'm just super pleased with all of this because I mean I've been spreading the good word since was it Portable Second? Which one was it? Which one had Tigrix as the flagship? I couldn't even read it because it was I didn't have the English version.
It was Portable 2.
Yeah, Portable 2. So that I've been preaching that since that, and then came Freedom Unite and Try, and then just never stopped. So it's nice to actually be in a place where it's not like, oh, ew. It's like, yeah, no, that is the game.
Yep.
It's
it's
wild.
crazy.
It's wild. That's what it is. What is our plans for this week, fam? What are we playing? I'm not answering this question because it's obviously Fortnite. All right.
It just is disappointing to hear out loud, though.
Anybody could take it up first. Whoever wants to go.
I will say, I mean, I'm definitely going to continue into World. There was a piece of me a little while ago. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? There's a piece of me a little while ago that also wanted to dip into For You again for a bit, but I don't know if that'll be a this week thing.
Real quick, I'm going to say, I don't know yet. I'm going to think about it, but I'll also be right back real quick. So
Okay.
give me a minute. Hold on.
All right. Man, I can't wait for Relink.
I just want everyone to look at Side Games and go, yes, no, you're right. Yes, that.
Everybody should be doing.
Yeah. For me, I'm just going to fill the time space by going, I'm going to play 14 some more. Hopefully progress further into the Endwalker patch stories. And more Lethal Company, hopefully. We'll see. Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Sly.
I mean,
Sly.
I guess I mean I have my stuff scheduled out. I mean I do Tales of Berseria tomorrow, Trails on Thursday, more Tales on Friday. Need to squeeze in time for GBO 2 because the winter event is out. Yeah.
Sly.
And of course, Daily
Where are you at in Trails? Where are you at in Trails? Where are you at? You're still in 4, right?
Act 2.
Where you at? Act 2? Okay.
Okay.
Slowly trucking along. It's okay. I still haven't beat Reverie yet.
Well,
but
in English.
this year was in English. Yeah, true, fair.
Yeah.
This year's been kind of fucked for games. I'm gonna be real here. My backlog's only gotten even more perpetual.
Yep, sure has.
And then I already stated, all right. It's very unfortunate that Persona 3 Reload comes out the day before Relink because I'm not touching that fucking game that entire month. All right. It's going to be on Game Pass, all right? So I don't even have to buy it, all right? I have Game Pass. I'm just going to download it through there. But yeah, I'm not touching that game. Like January 31st is when Steam's going to be able to play Relink. That all the way up probably until Rebirth comes out, it's going to be nothing but that game. I have learned that if I get OP in that game, all right, I can pull my less OP brethren into higher levels without them having to meet the power gear requirement. All right? So I can just power level my friends.
In Relink?
Yeah, in Relink, yeah. I just
I
can't
haven't seen a lot more. I haven't seen a lot of video recently of Relink.
There is about a week and a half ago, Javian and a couple other and like a Rex Gaming, they got to go out and meet Side Games and play the game, play like 4 hours of the game. All right.
They met Side Games. They met John Side Games.
Yeah, they met John Side Games. Yeah, man, it was so surreal. Javian's got a 2-hour video up where he shows like the first couple chapters of the beginning of the game, but towards the end, it ends with a story boss fight and a raid boss fight, where he didn't get to play the raid boss fight. It was a video shown to them from Side Games, of how crazy the fights can be, and it's split up so it doesn't show the entire fight. It cuts out like a lot of the more crazy, the crazy mechanics or whatever in it. But between the story boss fight that you see and then the raid boss fight, you can tell what type of game this is going to be, and it's ridiculous. Like I only got more hyped watching this gameplay because I'm like, I don't care what other game comes out February. I saw February release dates are all of TGA. I was like, I don't care about this game. So that's how much it looked like, because you played Arise, right? Tales of Arise?
Nope.
Oh, you haven't? Oh man.
No.
Oh,
Sir.
fuck.
Yeah.
Sir.
Berseria is my, well, technically third, but I call Berseria my second because I played Symphonia and New World. I count those as my first.
Okay, yeah.
And that was back in the day.
Please look forward to it. Methinks you might enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the only other game. That's the only game I could like really compare Relink to, like Relink's gameplay. I mean, you'll see if you watch that. I'll send you that 2-hour video.
Okay.
I'm only just continuously more hyped for this game the closer it gets, and I'm just so happy that people got to like play it. That way I know it's fucking real.
True.
Welcome back. Your last one up, Lev.
I haven't gotten either of these games yet, but I was contemplating between Star Ocean remake, the Star Ocean 2 remake, or Sea of Stars.
Star Ocean remake. I really want to play it. I played the demo and I'm like, wow, this is the best Star Ocean game since this Star Ocean. So
That's what everybody fucking says. And I'm like, okay.
It's like when Resident Evil 4 remake came out. Wow, this is the best Resident Evil game since Resident Evil 4.
Actually true though.
I can argue a little bit for 3 and 4. I enjoyed 4, and 3 is kind of like that pedestal game where it's like There's nothing intrinsically wrong with 3 outside of like maybe the ending of the game.
I played 3. I really liked it, but that was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
They cut out a good bit of content on that game, sadly.
Yeah, but 2, I know 2's like also on this like pedestal of like it's just super good story and super good gameplay, and then the remake just makes it even better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like pretty much like almost fully voice acted too, which is insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, that's us for this week. We have a little thing planned for next week. Dalit doesn't, because he said he doesn't want to be fun, I guess.
It's true. he's got to be exceptionally lame.
But we might be playing Lethal Company next week for the episode.
Yeah.
And everybody look forward to that. If everybody sat in through this Monster Hunter talk, please hit that like and subscribe button. Go check out Lavrin over at his Twitch channel. I think it's is it just Lavrin now? Did you change it to just Lavrin, or is it Lavrin? Or no, your Twitter is Lavrin like 2009 or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But your Twitch is just Lavrin, and your YouTube is Lavrin as well, or Azure and Fist. I forget what it's still at you at.
I think the ad is it should redirect to my channel if you type Lavin now. I think it should.
And Sly, you're Sly, aka Gray Fox, Sly the Fox, Sly the Velvet Room on YouTube, everywhere. People will find you. You're the persona man.
Mega 10 man.
Mega 10 man, yeah. Anyway, thanks for everybody for watching, and have a good night.
Yeah, good night.
Be good now.
Good night.
Night.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.